Have you ever felt it, that strange, unsettling feeling that you are being watched? A chill down your spine in an empty parking lot, or the prickling on your neck walking a deserted city street. We tell ourselves it's imagination, but what if it's not? In a hyperconnected world, the eyes are everywhere. They are silent, they are patient, they never ever blink, watching from every corner, watching every storefront, watching every traffic light. Millions of cameras blanket our society. CCTV systems, dash cams on cars, smartphones in our hands. We install them for security, for convenience, to protect our property, to protect our loved ones. We've invited them into our lives, into our homes, into our most private spaces. We've accepted this as normal, but in doing so, we created an unprecedented network of silent digital witnesses. They capture more than daily routines. They capture when everything goes wrong. These cameras are emotionless observers. They don't get scared, they don't look away, they just record. They document the mundane, they document the horrific with the same cold indifference. A child buying candy, a couple holding hands, a quiet street at dawn. Then, in a sudden instant, something else happens. A flash of violence, a desperate escape, a crime unfolding in real time. What starts as a terabyte can become the single most important piece of evidence. Tonight, we pull back with the curtain on constant surveillance. We will show moments when unblinking eyes captured more than shadows, chilling real-life footage that shocked the world and cracked cases wide open. Not Hollywood. Real crimes, real victims. The digital ghosts that brought perpetrators to justice. You are about to become a witness. You will see what the cameras saw. Are you prepared? It was a Tuesday night in a quiet suburban town, the kind of place where nothing ever happens. The streets were empty. Most families were asleep in their beds. But inside the 24-hour convenience store on the corner of Elm and Main, the fluorescent lights hummed with an eerie stillness. The lone clerk, a college student named Ben, was restocking shelves, counting down the minutes until his shift ended. He felt safe, he felt secure. He had no idea that in a matter of moments his world would be turned upside down. The store's front door chimed. Ben looked up from his work, a friendly greeting ready on his lips. But the words caught in his throat. The figure that stepped inside was not a weary traveler. It was a person shrouded in darkness. They wore a black hoodie, a ski mask, and dark gloves. A cold wave of dread washed over Ben as the figure strode purposefully toward the counter.
This was not a customer. This was a nightmare come to life. The figure slammed a hand on the counter. Empty the register, now.
Ben's heart hammered against his ribs. His training kicked in. Cooperate. Don't be a hero. He fumbled with the cash register. With the cash drawer open, the robber impatiently scooped the bills into a worn duffel bag. They just grabbed the money, turned, and vanished. Ben was left standing alone. The entire ordeal lasted less than 60 seconds, but for Ben, it felt like an eternity. Their only real witness was the silent camera mounted on the ceiling, which had recorded every chilling second of the night and in midnight heist. When detectives arrived on the scene, their first and most crucial task was to review the security footage. The footage was clear enough to show the event, but it offered them frustratingly little to work with. The robber had been meticulous. a faceless, anonymous threat. They analyzed the robber's height and build. Was it a man or a woman, young or old? The video was guarding its secrets closely. The clothing was the unofficial uniform of anonymity, but it was a dead end. The trail grew colder. Just as hopelessness crept in, a junior detective noticed something. It wasn't what the robber did, but what they bought. Before pulling the mask down, the suspect acted like a normal customer. They picked up a single item, a crack in the armor. The item the suspect grabbed was a specific, somewhat uncommon brand of chewing tobacco. It was a habit. And habits, as detectives know, can be just as incriminating as a fingerprint. They compiled a list of all the stores in the region that stocked this particular brand. Then they started looking at recent sales records. After sifting through hundreds of transactions, they found a name, the man's build, his approximate height. It all matched. When they raided the suspect's apartment, they found it all: a black hoodie, a worn duffel bag, and on the kitchen counter, a can of the very same chewing tobacco. The unblinking eye of the CCTV camera had not only captured the crime, but also the one tiny clue that led directly to his door. The night was cold and clear. For the Miller family, it was supposed to be a happy evening. They were driving home after celebrating Sarah's 8th birthday. It was a memory they would cherish. Tragically, it would be their last one together. Out of nowhere, a blinding light filled their rearview mirror. A vehicle was approaching from behind at an incredible speed. In a horrifying instant, the speeding vehicle slammed into the back of their family car with the force of an explosion. The other vehicle didn't even slow down. Its red tail lights receded into the darkness, a cruel and cowardly retreat. When first responders reached the scene, they found a tragedy. Emily and Sarah were gone. The driver, who had destroyed a family, had simply vanished into the night, leaving behind no witnesses and seemingly no clues. But one piece of technology had been overlooked: a small damaged camera and its memory card. Suddenly, there was a glimmer of hope. The file was corrupted, but digital forensics experts are patient. They spent the next several hours painstakingly working to recover and repair the damaged data. The video file opened. It was a gut-wrenching recording, a ghost of a life that no longer existed. They slowed the footage down as for a single fleeting frame, the camera caught a glimpse of the other car's license plate. It was blurry, distorted, and only partially visible. After hours of meticulous work, they were able to decipher 3 letters and 2 numbers. It was a monumental breakthrough. Armed with the partial license plate, the investigation transformed. The ghost car was no longer a phantom, it was somewhere on that list. They began the methodical process of elimination. One by one, they ruled out vehicles. With each car they crossed off the list, the net grew tighter. A detective knocked on the door. "Oh my!" The man who answered seemed nervous. The detective's instinct screamed that this was the one. After securing a search warrant, they forced open the garage door. There it was, the ghost car. The evidence was overwhelming. The suspect finally confessed. The digital eyewitness had provided the thread that allowed investigators to piece together the truth and bring justice to a shattered family. In an age where we are all connected, it seems impossible for someone to simply vanish. Yet, that is exactly what happened to 22-year-old Maya Anderson. One Friday evening, Maya told her roommate she was going out. She walked out the door with her phone in hand and was never seen again. When Maya didn't return, her usually active social media accounts fell silent. A frantic search began. Her last known communication was a text message sent at 8:15 p.m. After that, her digital footprint ceased to exist. It was during this desperate, crowdsourced investigation that a chilling discovery was made. One friend remembered Maya had been experimenting with live streaming apps. The friend frantically searched and found a video posted the night she disappeared. A digital message in a bottle. The video began innocently enough. For the first 10 minutes, it was a normal, happy slice of life. Then the tone shifted. Her pace seemed to slow. I think someone is following me. The live stream continued, but the walk had transformed. It became a real-time record of a young woman's growing fear. The video captured a brief chaotic struggle. Then the phone was dropped, and then the live stream abruptly ended. The video, it just went viral overnight. They weren't just passive observers anymore. They had become a massive digital search party. Viewers started to analyze the video frame by painstaking frame. A timeline of her last moments was being pieced together by a global network of concerned citizens. The breakthrough came from an unexpected corner. They started searching for other social media content posted from the same location at exactly the same time. A tourist had inadvertently captured something in the background. A man could be seen hurrying down the street, and his face was clearly visible. Most importantly, he was wearing the exact same distinctive boots. The digital echo had, at last, given the ghost a face. The police now had a clear image of their suspect. It didn't take long for a tip to come in. Under questioning, the man confessed. The digital ghosts and echoes we all leave behind had converged to solve a crime and bring a measure of closure to a grieving community. We have journeyed through the shadows of our modern world, guided by the cold, impartial lens of the camera. Each of these stories shares a common, powerful thread. For centuries, crime happened in the dark, but that era is fading. A new kind of witness has emerged, a witness that is present in our stores, on our streets, on our dashboards, and in our very hands. A witness that never forgets, never gets scared, and never looks away. It cuts through the lies, the alibis, and the deception, creating an undeniable narrative of guilt, or an undeniable narrative of innocence. This universal presence means that crime no longer happens in a vacuum. Every action creates a ripple in the vast ocean of digital data. This raises profound and unsettling questions about our privacy. We have traded a degree of anonymity for a sense of security. The same tools that bring criminals to justice can be used for other purposes. The power to watch is the power to control. The line between a watchful protector and an oppressive observer can be perilously thin. So the next time you walk down the street and feel that familiar prickling on your neck, that strange feeling that you're being watched, remember what you have seen tonight. It is not your imagination. The eyes are real, and they are everywhere, capturing the moments of joy, the moments of sorrow, and the terrifying moments when the ordinary shatters. The real question is not whether we are being watched, but what the cameras will see when they are looking at us.